Hi there friends, and welcome to my beginner's tips and tricks guide around the character progression in Cyberpunk 2077. This video is aimed towards all the new players which are struggling around which direction to develop their character. If you have questions like which perks should I pick first, which attributes are good to have in the early game, is there a good reason to specialize myself at the beginning? All these things I want to cover up as good as I can. So first of all, the game is very friendly to you if you just rush through Act 1 to get a first impression around the gameplay. If you're completely new to the game, there are, though, a few things I would strongly recommend to everybody because they really made my life a lot easier, and I can't ever imagine how anybody would beg to differ. So let's get started. First up, in the technical ability tree, you find among the crafting skills the scrapper skill. Junk items are automatically disassembled. The game has a pretty extensive crafting system, which is to some extent tedious, but to some extent absolutely overpowered and nice and nifty if you use it. So this skill gives you the option to just soak up all the junk and reconstruct it into new useful items, and it eases up inventory management by a ton. So for everything else, you need to skill deeper into the crafting tree. But if you want to be a crafter, long story short, you get stronger items for your crafting if you're crafting them manually. But it's a very, very tedious way. So long story short about around the crafting, you are able to transform simple materials which you're looting out of all that junk I've spoken before into ammunition, and you can do that on the fly. And sometimes this game delivers you pretty brutal bullet sponges, enemies with a lot of HP, and I've made such good experiences with just being able to craft my ammo on the run. It's really awesome. Also, you can use the crafting components to create healing items and other nifty consumables. And if all this inventory crafting, this equipment crafting is not interesting for you and just too much, and you just don't want to think about it, perfectly fine, you don't need to. But these simple consumables are something I really want to point a finger on, because all you need is just to really get this one skill point, and then you're good to go to craft your own ammunition on the run. Easy peasy. So next questions that will come up for sure: should you specialize or not from the beginning? No, you shouldn't. Really avoid it. The best way I found to play is to go all-rounder if you're a beginner, and just check it out. What's fun for you. Just go open-minded into the game, and whatever part of the game is most fun for you, slowly and steadily focus into it, because you're receiving enough experience and perk points along the road to get a lot of concepts going, or a lot of different ideas into one character. So you don't need to worry about the fact that you're choosing a wrong path to begin with. That's simply because the game not only has this experience system, but also a direct progression system, which does a lot of learning by doing. And if you learn skills here, for example, I'm already level 5 on assault weapons, you get a lot of extra goodies, but also perk points, which you can distribute somewhere else. So basically, the more you do stuff you're not good at, the more perk points you receive. And I haven't checked out what the level, if there is a level cap on this game, but well, you'll receive enough points to get where you want to. Just dive into the game and check out what's fun for you. And according to that, you're going to create a character that's fun for you to play. Apart from that, oops, wrong button. Here. So I personally found that a healthy mix of weapons is pretty good. If you don't know what weapons you might want to use, just try all the firearms through it. For example, if you're not sure what you want to use, it's really worth giving them a spin, because, well, there are a lot of different types of guns, and basically each each basic model can be upgraded into legendary proportions if you go crafting, for example. So if there's a gun you like, just stick to it, learn to be good with it, and try to get to receive great to receive here rare versions of that, because the game just uses the same gun model and upgrades its stats constantly. So basically, if you're a total fan of the D5 Copperhead, for example, you can get that in legendary quality later down the road. That's worth mentioning. There are also iconic weapons, which are basically uniques. These behave a tad bit different, but they can be also upgraded, like the Copperhead can be upgraded. So you can grab a common gun from the ground and you can upgrade it via crafting. Here, if you go the upgrades route, you can just tinker flat stats on it, and you can also upgrade its rarity. And you see here, if we want to go for epic crafting, you just need the predecessor. So you're really not that bound to certain things in this game. Just try out what you like and stick to what you like. That's, for me, one of the most important things which worked out for me really decently. So another thing about cyberware and a lot of other things, you need a lot of money to get here, but it's very, very much worth it. So saving up money for the Ripper Dog is one thing, but I want to talk about this part here especially. So this is your hacking hardware, and if you want to replace quick hacks and such, this is place to go. I've been looking for this place for quite some time. So here you can set up the basic hardware, and here you can install the mods. Basically everything in this game has mod slots, which are giving you certain well, customization options. So as you see here, a gun can have several attachments, and you can go down this way to make your gameplay a little bit more handcrafted towards your playstyle. Yeah, and apart from that, just run around the world and gather your points until you get to the until you get a feeling what you actually want to do. I feel like the game is very, very forgiving with just running around unspecialized and doing your thing. And if there's any advice I could give, don't specialize yourself before you know why and how. Another thing I really, really found extremely useful was to keep some attribute points or well, mainly attribute points left over. If you don't know where to put them, leave them, because more often than not you'll encounter something out in the world like a data jack or a data mine which you can't use because your intelligence is too low, a certain door which you can't unlock because your body rating is 1 point too low. I've really found that there is a lot of well, a lot to gain to be able to spend a few attribute points on the fly, because basically you're going to be developing a little bit on the average and specializing on some spikes where you really want to play. And especially in the early game, being flexible with your attribute points is very, very nifty, because as far as I've seen things, you will learn something out of most of these trees. The only tree you can completely neglect if you want to, but I would really not recommend, is the cool tree, because the cold blood is pretty useful, but well, you could handle without. And stealth, well, as far as I've seen things, most of the time you're good to go without stealth in this game. But these parts here, well, if you want to go melee, you will definitely need body for sure, but if you want to go blunt weapons, you can leave out reflexes, but if you want to go for blades, you will combine body and reflexes. Technical ability flat out increases your armor, so you might want to have that. I think this is another tree or another attribute line. If you don't want to use it, or if you don't think you need it that much, you could neglect this a bit as well. But these three here, well, it depends on you, but I felt like reaching out and going for some specialties felt like a good way to go. And don't deny yourself from strolling around into new areas, because if you look around here, the base stats necessary are shown here. Everything goes towards a max of 20, and you will find out which skills you want by using the stuff that you like, and during that process you won't be asking yourself too many questions. Do I really need this skill or that skill? If you're shooting a lot with assault guns, you will know if that skill fits into your style or not, and if you will know if you want to go for, let's example, reflexes 18 or not, or same goes for all the other things. So long story short behind that, read what you need, play what you want, and learn across the way, alongside that, and don't overstress yourself trying to understand everything at once. It really kills the fun, and it's really not necessary. So I hope that was helpful. Feel free to drop some comments and questions down below, because this is just a beginner's guide, and I know some questions are absolutely left open. And yeah, I'm glad if I was able to help. Leave a like, leave a subscribe if I was able. If you want to support this the project, I'd be very, very happy. See you soon. Bye bye.